before it blows up. Got a CFL, just the bulb, in series with just one of the anodes, and I've noticed when my signal is all the way off, which makes me think the tubes are operating in Class A mode. Anyway, they're conducting constantly. The light bulb lights, right, and it's flickering, but there's some fluctuations going on. But as I raise the input gain just to a tiny little amount at about 400 hertz or 380 hertz or so, the light bulb goes out. So it doesn't take very much gain at all into the preamp to start choking the tubes. So obviously I think that's the opposite of what I want, but watch what happens as I increase the frequency. Oh, wait a minute. I gotta go to the next one. So just to the point where you can almost not hear it anymore, the bulb comes in, and you can see oscillations inside of it, almost a twisting. Well, it's probably just the ignition of the fluorescence, how you see them kind of like cascade up the tube. But anyway, the more I get the frequency up, it's really high now. You can hear the MOT starting to hum a lot more, so the conduction's coming back. But I think it's a DC conduction. It just happens to be arcing through that tube. If I go all the way up, it runs, the variac's only about halfway up because I don't want to blow it up, but it runs almost full blast, wide open. So we must be losing power output after 115K, or 50, whatever that is, 150 times 100. As you can see, all through the lower range. Now, if I turn it off all the way down to 0, we can start to see the MOT get is almost being controlled by it. So there's some conduction going on that's draining the MOT. If you can see that flashing or not, yeah, that's pretty wild. We're running about 32 hertz. Oops. We go up to about 40. Here's about 60. The power starts getting funky. Zoom back out here. If I bring the gain up, it helps a little bit, but obviously when I kill the gain, there's a saturation that dies out and full conduction happens. Let's see. So then if I go over here and turn my voltage up a little bit more, and you can start to hear the MOT humming here, so I'm getting some conduction at this. So now there seems to be like a specific resonant frequency, and that's right around 10K, maybe higher, well, 15K. Pretty neat. But if I give it gain, nope. Seemed like I could almost lower where that frequency was. Now, let me back the bias off. That made it a little lower. So now it's doing it around 8K. Starting to eliminate it 5.5, 6K. So the reduced bias, which almost goes too negative to choke these tubes, does affect the tuning. can see fluctuations with the beat frequency happening, bouncing against the 60 hertz some over there. Bring the bars up quite a bit. Doesn't really have much of an effect. It's really how it's driving that transformer. It's because of the coupling. We're just getting voltage output, like 250 volts, positive control grid, so Class A operation. When the signal is being applied, obviously. But there's no negative bias voltage to choke it into AB. So I'm not getting any output yet. Too close coupling, most likely. The frequencies, or at least the currents that are needed to get that field, require a tighter coupling, which is why we're going to be making a pancake primary to go around that secondary to then be loosely coupled to that tertiary. And that should get much better conduction. Cool, huh?